what if we had just caught it sooner? It's a question so many parents can find themselves asking. Today, we're going to dive into a story that's incredibly personal, but honestly, it has a lesson for every single one of us. It all starts with that hope, that feeling that your kids' struggles are just a phase. I mean, how many times have we all heard this sentence? Maybe even said it ourselves. We thought he'd grow out of it. It's kind of the go-to line, isn't it? It's what you tell yourself, what you tell your partner. It's what you truly, genuinely believe when you're watching your kid deal with the usual ups and downs of growing up. So for a while, that belief, that was the explanation for everything. It had to be. But the signs, well, they didn't go away. They started out small, sure, but then they just kept coming, and they got more and more persistent. First, there were the tantrums. And listen, we're not talking about your average toddler meltdown here. No, these felt bigger. They were just all-consuming. And then after that came the forgetfulness. Just this constant forgetfulness. You could give a simple instruction, go over a daily routine, and poof, it's like it was never even said. Just vanished. And as you can imagine, it left everyone feeling so frustrated. And woven through it all was just this deep underlying confusion, a real struggle to connect the dots, Cause and effect, social cues, it was all a challenge. But through all of this, the family just kept holding on to that one thought. Surely he'll grow out of it. But he didn't. And with just those 3 words, the entire story shifts. That hope, that belief that things would just sort themselves out on their own, it starts to fade. And it's replaced by this growing, undeniable concern that you just can't push aside anymore. That realization, that right there, was the turning point. It was the moment where waiting just wasn't an option any longer. Searching for real answers became urgent. So the journey to find those answers took time. And all the while, the gap between their son and his friends just kept getting wider. By the time they finally got a diagnosis that explained everything, fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, or FAS, he'd already fallen behind. Can you imagine that? The relief of finally having a name for the struggle, all mixed up with this absolutely heartbreaking knowledge of all that lost time. Precious, precious time that could have been used to help.
Okay, so this is really where the story splits, like a fork in the road. You have the path that was actually taken, and then you have the path that could have been. And it's that powerful what if that drives this family's message today.
This is the absolute core of it all. Early intervention could have changed the story. And look, this isn't about blame. It's not about pointing fingers. It's about possibility, the possibility of a completely different outcome, a different future. And when you lay it out like this, it's just so incredibly clear. 2 paths, but 1 child. On one side, with a late diagnosis, the result is that he'd already fallen behind. But on the other side, with early intervention, it could have changed the whole story, getting that support and understanding in there right when it would have mattered the most. Seeing that stark contrast, well, that's what turned this family's private struggle into a very public mission. They decided to take their own painful experience and turn it into something that could actually create change for someone else. This became their whole motivation. They shared their story, the regret, the hope, all of it, so that another family out there, one who might be seeing very similar signs, won't wait. So another child gets the help they need, but faster. And their entire mission is really distilled down into this one powerful call to action. Catch it early. And, it's more than just a hashtag you scroll past online. It's a plea. It's a reminder to trust your instincts, trust your gut, and go seek answers when you feel like something isn't quite right. And these hashtags here, they really lay out the entire game plan. It all starts with being vigilant. Hashtag catch it early. Then it's powered by getting educated, right? With things like hashtag FAS awareness. And it all points to this one incredible, transformative outcome, hashtag early intervention saves. It saves time, it saves potential, it saves futures. So we're left with this one vital question. By listening today, by learning about this, and by sharing this message, whose story could be changed next? It might be a child in your community, in your family, maybe even someone you haven't met yet.
The power to change that story, it begins just by paying attention.